kidding.
Don't move, she says, because when we move for some reason, we get something happens to the image.
We're distorted.
Yes, well, we're a little distorted anyway. But this is Opposite Saxes, and it's Thursday at 1:00 in the afternoon.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure. I checked my watch.
Okay. Good. Yeah, because we did change time. Yeah.
Boy, did we get the blowback from last week's show. We talked about traveling on the road and staying in hotels, and I laid into a very expensive hotel we stayed in for 5 nights, and what I felt was a lack of service and all. And we got lots of comments, and since this show is Opposite Saxes, the comments came in and they were all over the spectrum and all. There were some people who say, "Oh, I think you're being a little too hard on the staff at the hotel. If they were understaffed, you should be a little bit more accommodating."
But then there were others that sympathized and knew where we were coming from.
And others that said, you're right, for whatever you're paying, you should get the amenities and you should get the service that you deserve for your stay. And if you don't get it, call the desk and say, "I want more pillows. I want more towels. I want more Kleenex.
I want it all.
I want it now." But some people were saying, "Oh, you're being a little overly critical." And I thought about it and what I said, and maybe I was being a little overly critical, but what does that mean today, being overly critical? In our day, criticism was supposed to be helpful, and it usually was. If you went into a restaurant and you didn't get the service you felt the restaurant should be giving, you either mentioned it to your server or you would ask to see the manager, and you'd say, "Look, the meal was very, very nice, but I had to ask to have my water glass refilled 3 times. I just want to let you know, because I think But some people, I don't say anything because I don't know why they feel like, it's being petty.
Well, I remember when we had our businesses, as much as it would hurt, and sometimes it did, because every so often we'd have a slight problem, not huge, but a slight problem with a customer. We would want to know if our employees were doing what they should be doing.
Right.
And it's your business. Because if people are not happy, they're going to go elsewhere, and there's too many places to choose from these days.
And that's right. And that's the bottom line. I think is that it's your duty to say something. If the service was impeccable, let them know.
Absolutely.
If the service was less than what you think it should be, let them know. Because
that's the only way they know.
Exactly. If it goes 6 months or a year and you don't go back to the restaurant because of the service, but you didn't tell anybody about it, and you hear that the service is still deficient, you're not going to go, and that doesn't help the business owner know that they're deficient. It's
what also. I think we've earned the right at our age. Don't move.
Don't move.
I think we've earned the right at our age to say something. I don't want to say complain. I don't want to use that word complain, but to let them know, because we're paying for it. We've been through this. We know what good business is and what it isn't. And I'm sorry. I think at my age, I should be able to at least let them know in a nice way. I'm not saying
our age group probably is a little more critical than others, because we remember a time when service was a little bit more paramount in businesses. And today, because there's so much self-serve and buying online, where you don't have to comment to any person. It doesn't mean anything. If you wait in line for an excessive period of time for your order, you just say, "Oh, well, that's just the way it is."
In this day and age, a lot of it is self-serve, and you do yourself. do everything yourself. You even go, you bag your own groceries, you put them through the scanner, and you think, wow, I'm paying these exorbitant prices. I'm doing everything myself. And yes, am I happy? No, I truthfully think that they have a lot of nerve asking us to do everything, but it's the state of the world. It's the world we live in right now. And so you come to accept it and you do it.
Well, the answer is you seek out those independent mama papa
Yes,
operations
if you
that
can.
do things and are helpful
Mhm.
to you. I mean, I agree. The thing that maybe I'm being overly critical, which was the subject of this show, but I resent going into a restaurant, a burger place, and I go up to a screen and I place the order myself. I got to do all the picking and choosing of everything. Then I go up to pay, and they enter everything, and then they flip the screen over and it says add a tip, 15, 18%, 20%. They even get so bold as to list 25%. I'm doing all the work. I'm placing the order and all, and then now you want me to give you a tip, and what you're going to do is you're gonna ding me or call my name, when my order is ready, and I got to go up and get my own. I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the ordering and everything, and you want me to add a tip.
Well,
My feeling is the price that you're charging for your food is tip enough. And most places, you do have the option of putting in custom tip or no tip. And I don't have a real problem with putting in no tip. I don't. If I'm doing all of the work, uh,
well, the waitresses out there would probably say, hey, we're trying to make a dime and earn a living. And I get that. But I also I know, and my wages as a senior citizen are down, and I can't always afford to do that.
But the answer that some of my friends say is just carry some extra singles or whatever in your pocket and everything, and instead of adding it to the bill, because you want to just take it and put it in the tip jar.
You can do that,
and do that as an alternate. One of the places that does that is a lot of the coffee shops, where you go up and you stand in line to place your order for your coffee and all, and then you go down and you wait for your coffee to come up, but they want you to give them a tip. I put a few bucks in the tip jar and all, instead of adding it to my bill.
Sometimes I think that's how they get away with not paying a larger hourly wage.
Well, we, our good friend Brandon, who has spent a lot of time in the hospitality industry and all, explains that also sometimes when you add that tip, doesn't necessarily go to the person that you were dealing with. Right. It goes into a general fund, and sometimes even all of that tip money goes into a jar to be divvied up among the people that are working that day. And the people that have been there for 8 hours will get as the same cut as those that might be there for 4 hours.
Right.
And he said it happens very often that half of the tip money goes to the house, and then the other half is split among the staff. So you're better off, again, if you've had good service from somebody, either put it in a tip jar or reach out and hand a few dollars to that person that comes to the table. I would prefer to hand a tip directly to my waiter or waitress at the table and say, thank you. You were very, very helpful, and I appreciate the service.
Right.
And let them put it directly into their pocket.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. But I think at this point, people do have to say something, good or bad. And let these businesses know what you're thinking and how the service was, good or bad.
Yeah, and also we talk mainly about food service and everything, but it goes for anything. If repair service, you call up and you need somebody to come out and check your air conditioning system. If they can't come out for 4 weeks or something, then don't be afraid to say 4 weeks, but I need to have my air conditioner fixed now. Then call another company that says we'll be there in an hour, or we'll
be there tomorrow morning.
We'll be there the first thing in the morning, and thank you for calling us, because they want your business and they'll bend over backwards to get your business, rather than saying, I'm just going to wait. The same thing is also true with doctors. You've experienced this too. If you are coughing and sneezing and have fever and you need to see a doctor and they say, we can see you 2 weeks from Thursday, goodbye, and go to an emergency care facility or something, because you need attention now. It's not demanding anything. You're entitled to have the service done in an efficient manner. And what it tells me when they can't see you for 3 or 4 weeks is they got more business than they really need. So give the business to somebody else that's just as qualified, that is going to take good care of you.
And I think we mentioned on the previous show that we really are big on reviews. And those reviews mean a lot. People read them, and so they will go or not go, depending on the reviews, to that certain business. And I think that's really important, and it gives everybody the feedback they need to make an informed decision.
Yep. Yeah. And reviews help businesses, just like you can do it verbally. Very often a business will say, if you would you please go online and click the comment column on our website or something and leave a review. Sometimes it might be a 3-star review or a 5-star review, or if you have been dissatisfied, tell them, because
tell them why.
That's the only way that businesses can improve, is if they get criticism, both good and bad,
right,
so that they can make themselves what they strive to be. Most businesses have standards that they want to follow, rules and regulations they want to follow. If the staff is not doing that, it's not the staff's fault, it's management's fault. Absolutely. And you have to make sure that management knows about it. And if you tell a staffer, listen, would you please tell the manager that we were not real happy with the service that we got? The staffer is not going to say a thing.
Or they say, well, we've mentioned it, and they don't do anything. Yeah. I've gotten that feedback.
Well, but it could cost them their job. Yeah. So the best thing is that, could I please have the name of the franchisee, the name of the manager of the rest, and then call and
write a letter.
Write a letter.
That's good.
And say, this is helpful criticism, that I've been in your restaurant 10 times and the service is usually very good, but I was there the other day and I was dissatisfied. I was dissatisfied. Yes.
And you don't have to be nasty.
No.
You don't have to be cruel. Just explain what happened.
Exactly.
So that's the way we operate.
That's right. We read every review that comes in for our show, whether it's a good review or a bad review. And all the good reviews we file in our cabinet, and all the bad reviews we shred.
It's not true.
Oh,
I don't.
No. We take everything seriously here.
We do, because again, this is our business, and we want to know.
That's what Opposite Saxes is all about. Is being the very, very best that we can be for all of you.
That's true.
And I'm not being overly critical. But you go out and make it a good day, and then come back and see us again next week. Okay? Is that a good deal? Okay.
Bye.
Bye.